it do, people? What it do? Let's go. Let's go. Let me fire this up real quick and let's get to it. We're doing the damn thing. Sorry, YouTube is just being a little bit goofball today, but you know what it is. There it is. There it is. All right, now it's acting better. Anyway, what's happening, folks? Welcome back. Welcome to the party. What is up, everyone? Hope everyone had a dope break, had a chance to relax and chill. And I will not get into the craziness that was my last week. It was absolutely obnoxious and ruinous and whatever. But hey, sometimes these things happen. So we're going to get back at it. Now, I'm curious in the chat, everyone's popping through. What are you going to be working on this year? What are you striving for? And of course, you can ask questions. Bring any questions you have to the table. Just throw them in. Let us know what it is that we can do to make this like easier for you. All right, cool. Let me fire this up. One of the crazy things that happened on New Year's Eve, right before midnight, like legit 11 something, I get notifications that we had a blackout in the basement where my studio is. And so every device I have of importance is throwing me messages to tell me that we don't have power. So I came back today and everything's out of whack. Like camera's doing weird stuff. like the mixer's doing weird stuff. So if the audio sounds weird or whatever, let me know so I can try to bless it up a bit. But yeah, everything went crazy over that little bit of holiday weekend. Just threw everything out of whack. I'm just checking. So far, it looks good. I know what it is. I know what's driving me crazy is I think I'm hearing a gate, and you guys know how much I love that crap. Let me back this back off a little bit. Maybe it won't be as obnoxious as before. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let me know. So, um, again, curious what you guys are working on and what type of information you need in order to get started. Eden says, I'm striving for better file organization. I mean, actually labeling clips and folders. That's actually a good one. I can help you with that a little bit. Um, my buddy Matt has a template on his site for organizing your files for video. However, yeah, there's a couple different ways you should do it. There's a really good video by Scott Kelby about going in and probably organizing your photo content. I think you could take his exact photo content mentality and set it up for all of your video content and use that as a way of organizing. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Oh, yes. All right, cool. Hold on. Let me do this. All right, so this is the video. It's about organizing Lightroom. Even if you don't use Lightroom, you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't use Lightroom, but he gets into a breakdown of like a good way to organize your files. And if you follow it up sort of like the way he does it, it's a good beginning. And from there, you can go further, right? So here's just a quick look-see, right? In all of the videos, instead of organizing them by project, he organized it by the type of stuff that he shoots. Now, again, you're gonna have to re-transmogrifize this for what you're making, but he does architectural photos, automotive photos, aviation, family landscape, miscellaneous. That folder is always the most dangerous, by the way. People, sports, and travel, right? And so using something like that is a good way to get started. and then you take it to the next level. Inside there, you'll have like the individual places, right? The projects, right? Amsterdam, Atlanta, whatever, like whatever you did. So it's a good video. I'm gonna give you the link right now. It's worth the watch. Um, and again, you can use some of this to help you sort of transmogrify your organization there. Other one that I think is really helpful is I use the para method now, and I've been using that to get organized. And that's easier because let me go back to here. This one I find is a little bit easier. And let me do it this way. Let me type project and then areas and then resources, archive. There. To me, this is easier because our search functionality is so good nowadays. You don't have to get super organized. Organizing because what's my show? I can swear. Organizing because shit looks pretty on your desktop, that doesn't make sense. So here's my master organization skill. Nothing on the desktop. A lot of stuff in the downloads folders and the documents folders because my search capability is so fast on all these devices that if you name your stuff, this is where you're running into problem. It's not your organization. Your problem is your taxonomy. If you're not naming your kit, then that's why you can't find stuff. It's not because it's misorganized, right? People are very good with untitled files, and untitled files is the bane of existence. Everyone who does file untitled or such and such one, such and such two, such and such three, that's going to screw you up. So if you just get good at naming your files, you could throw them in one gigantic bucket. Your computer will find them because there's so much metadata in every file. It's very easy to find files now. So basically, what you do is you're setting up your folders in order of your projects. You put all those projects inside there, and then you have your areas, right? So your areas for you, Eden, would be like basketball, yoga, camo, travel, kicking it with Doc and Luis. you know, like you'll have very specific set of areas that you matter to, and everything related to those things go into those various folders. You know what I'm saying? And then your resources would be any crap that you learn, links like I just send you. You take that link, you drag it into a folder of websites I need to remember. And then your archive is anything you haven't opened in the last 6 months, throw it in the archive. You'll find it because metadata is so good now. So that's actually a very good one. But don't get psyched out on making it all pretty with pretty folders and pretty icons because that becomes a project that you can never finish and it overtakes your mind and you just spend hours tweaking on it and you might get everything cute after 6 months, but you still will be like, okay, it's pretty, but I still can't find anything. So yeah, be real careful of that. Yo, Kim, how are you doing? How's the little miniature? Kim Booch, Ohio. Aiden says, I'm that person who has everything on their desktop and when I need a file, I just pray I remember about it when I shot the video. Uh-uh. No. Uh-uh. Oh, don't do that. It's a dry heave. I don't like I can't stand any files on the desktop at all. Oh, that is just bleh. Anyway, look here, let's do this. Let's do this. Boom. Oh, not that. Wrong finger button press. Hey, oh my god, the blackout took out my stream deck. Ain't that a trip? Okay, look, see? Desktop. Look, icons, non existent, schmood. just like the silk. Uh, oh my god, I can't do it. It's like icons in the desk. Anyway, let's see. Um, there you go. What's up, Rap? Good to see you, fam. Yes, it's called Slim. There it is, Gretchen. Thank you, thank you. It's very helpful and like even for organizing your video projects. Check out Matthew O'Brien, Mob Deep. He has a dope one about organizing your video stuff so that stays all in order. And it's a matter of your A roll, your B roll, your sound, your graphics, whatever. It's all in a folder. So every time you start a new video project, you basically duplicate that empty folder, rename it to what that project is, put all of the video files for that particular project in those folders. That becomes really, really more beneficial. But yes, now Eden, here's a shortcut. We need a shortcut to naming these files because this is how you get stuck. All right. So let's get unstuck, Chuck. First of all, let me find out why my stream decks ain't awake because you guys are causing problem. Wake up, Maggie. I think I got something to say to you. This may not work. Um, yay. Nothing like streaming after a blackout and all your kit goes stupid. All right, so we're gonna teach Eden how to like be a boss. Okay, here we go. We're going to open up system settings. Go to system settings. Now, I have an application that is called Text Expander right here. So, me personally, I'm going to do it in Text Expander. But if you don't have Text Expander, A, what's wrong with your life? B, you could just use the built-in stuff in Apple. So I'm going to teach you how to do this for the built-in stuff in Apple. However, Text Expander and the other things like it are worth your weight in gold. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go down to keyboard replacement, text replacement. There it is, text replacements. Okay, we're gonna make a new one. And then we're gonna replace let's see. New vid. Nope, I don't like that. Comma. I like to use a delimiter. In vid. There you go. Comma in vid with, let's say, content, recording, Eden, dash. Okay? I'm going to leave it just like that. You can make it whatever you want, but for this particular demonstration, we're doing replace comma in vid with content recording Eden dash. Now I'm going to show you why Text Expander is doper in a second, but let me just put this in my memory banks for a second. Boom, add that. Say done. Okay, now, so when this child goes to make a new video file, right? Let me just do a fake new file. We're going to pretend it's a video. I need to fake a new file. I know what I do. I'll just screen capture this and call it a fake new file. Oh, stuff on the desktop. Man, that hurts. Oh. Okay, we're going to zoom it in here. Click it. And then just do comma in vid. It's going to do that. Oh, you missed it. You saw it happen though, right? You just go comma in vid. And then you're going to get this little thing right here. You're going to enter it. And then you can put in like today's date. 1, 2, no, like that. 1.2.24. Right? And then call this eCam demo. Bam. Done. Now you don't have to worry about like remember the name of your files, you give yourself a shortcut, right? So we were to duplicate this. Ooh, you want to be like that? You can just take this, highlight it, comma in vid, select this, and be like, boom. You see what I'm saying? So whenever you get a file, you have a shortcut. Now, I'll show you why the text expander way is cooler. Let me delete that. In text expander, if I go to look up date, right, I could just do short date, finder date. I can do ZZ date, right? I can do like any of these ones like this, right? So if I was to create another fake file here, let's do this. All right, so here I can just click this and type sdate, type straight. That automatically puts that in, underscore, and then start typing my file. So in Text Expander, what you could do is you come in here and you create a new snippet, right? And then we're going to call this uh, a plain text, and we want to drop in a date. So I might want to drop in the month, right? And then pimpin underscore. And then I might want to pop in the day, pimp in the underscore. And then I want to pop in the year, pimp in the underscore. And then I want to put in, a keyboard, something, clipboard, insert a snippet, whatever, a cursor. We're going to position the cursor there. And then pop in an underscore. Oi! Blood clot. You don't talk about that to me. At the end of this, I want to pop in a time because you know what it is. Do I really need the time? No, I don't need to put the time. I'm just going to put it like that and pop in the cursor. Okay? So I got month, day, year, cursor. Right? And here you can add some other stuff if you want. Pop up menu, whatever. But we're just going to run it like that. And we're going to label this one, comma, in vid. And then we're going to do the same abbreviation. And vid. And then, oh, I know what I could do. There you go. There you go. So I'm going to just leave it like that. And then I'm going to say close. Now, before it's going to come screwed up, I need to get rid of the Apple one that I made. TXT. Replacement. And goodbye. Done. So now, on the same thing, if I were to come here, click this, and go, bam, it's already there, and now I can name it. See? So that's how you do it. That's how you make your job easy so that you can name files quickly and not walk around with a bunch of this is untitled, because that mess right there will ruin your life. This moment for life. It doesn't automatically rename, as you can add a custom quick action to Bash. You can do that as well. You can absolutely. Yes. Yes, that's the one, Raph, right? We all been here, fam. This is the one. Final, final, final. This one, no, for real. This one, I've done all of the above. Um, I use Hazel. Once I download something, if you haven't touched it for 3 hours, I get a file based on the URL it came from. Brilliant. Brilliant. Just reading. I I create so many folders, but then I name the folders with the underscore So there, yeah. See, like all of that gets crazy. Text expander is the bomb, by the way. But yeah, see what I mean? If you create yourself a shortcut to name your files, then you'll actually name them. If you half the time you just sit down and go, I don't know what to name them. So give yourself a taxonomy that at least puts enough information that you'll get back there. You can always come back and rename them. And uh, what Kim said is brilliant too. In Finder, you just highlight a bunch of files, rename them all at once, right? Things like that. Don't you should have a habit to don't leave things on the desktop for more than a couple of days. Just put them somewhere, and it's real easy. I mean that part will make your life easy. It's also nope, gone. It's out of there. As soon as I get a chance, it's got to go. That's funny. That's funny. So that was a good one, Eden. All right, who else has another challenge for this year? I wanted to I talked about this a little bit to people in the membership group, but I hadn't really talked about it to you guys. But I wanted to talk about, like where are you going to spark your creativity for the year? Like as you're getting into this whole little party session and getting ready to start the new year, like what are you doing to spark that energy? Like, of course, for me, it's travel, but I've been tackling just learning a new task, and for me, it's been playing with this bad boy. It's been a lot of fun. Um, really, like, absolutely enjoy the fact of capturing to document for the sake of documentation, not for the sake of trying to find some banger to share on the interweb and be like, oh look, I went out and I did this. It's more about actual documenting. I think especially the creators space up in here, and Diane and I have had this conversation at length. You got to get used to just documenting for documenting's sake, even if no one's ever going to see it. Even if no one's going to see it but you. Like, get in the habit of recording so that you get in the habit of recording. Does that make sense? Like, you know, I there's people in the chat right now that will still say, "Oh, I just want to feel more comfortable on camera." Cool, record more. No one has to watch it. You could just record more. Come in and sit down and pop your camera on and just be like, "Hey, today I was doing this. I was checking this thing out, and I'm in the battle with myself right now on whether I want to add all of these accoutrements to this particular device because the whole point of getting this was to keep it like small and nimble, and it is until you do what I did and add on a filter ring adapter and then an L bracket, and it's like the little thumb switch right here. It's cool. They're nice accessories, but do I really need them? Because that whole point of getting this was to get back to shooting for shooting's sake, and I immediately went and added stuff to it to make it more like my other cameras, which the whole point was to get away from them. So like you can literally just document general conversations with yourself like that, and maybe in there you'll find the gem that I should actually make a video about this. I should actually make a video about this. I saw a killer video yesterday, which I 108 agree with, and because Raf is here, I I would talk about it because I know that Raf has probably been in this exact same boat. Okay, so um, when I got this and I went to Japan, the one thing I didn't do was I didn't get a sling or anything. I got it so that I could just throw it in my pocket, right? Because it fits. more of a jacket pocket instead of a jeans pocket thing, but it fits. Whereas all of my other cameras are too big to just throw them in the pocket. And what that means is I would go out and shoot pictures for the sake of shooting pictures, and again, not for the sake of like, sort of creating content. But I'm creating that content muscle. It's like lifting weights by chopping wood instead of going to the gym. That's the way I think about it, right? So, in the process of doing this, you flex a sort of creative muscle. And again, the point is what we camera dudes do is we buy this camera and then we buy a bunch of accessories for it, and then we end up getting a camera bag. And camera bags in general are elevated in price based off the quality of what they do. When reality is, you could buy a Patagonia bag or a North Face bag or a bag made by bag people, people that know what the hell they're doing, like really, really strong bag, and put the same stuff in there, but like put it in the camera wrap or buy a cell that goes inside, and you'll get a better bag. What we end up doing is going out and getting a nomadic Peter McKenna or a Shimoda like me, or Manfrotto or F Stop or some kind of like quote unquote camera bag, and it'll literally be marked up 30 to 40% off of what any other bag without the word camera in front of will be, just for a bunch of grids that are completely unnecessary, other than when you bust it out in front of other camera people that we all look at each other and go, oh man, that's a nice camera bag. But anybody that's traveled somewhere that your stuff might get stolen, the first thing you do is dumb down your camera bag, like you slip it in something else and try to make it not look like a camera bag. You're better off to take this, the hottest camera in the market right now, everybody wants and hard as hell to get, and I could resell this $1,300 camera for 2,600 bones right now. You're better off to stick it in a Lululemon around your waist. You're less likely for somebody to jack it. So in that same ilk, right? It's the idea of getting better at generating creativity on the fly by doing it when you don't need to. Yes, thank you. And this is what I'm talking about. Have a conversation with yourself about nothing when you don't need to. It's better for everybody, you know? And not only will you get to hear better, but you'll give yourself advice that you already know you should listen to sometimes, but you just don't for whatever reason. Like half the times we will tell ourselves the best advice, you know? I can't reach my that wrench that we all got at camp. I can't reach mine right now. It's driving me crazy. So yeah, I think that was something that I wanted to like bring up when it comes to working and getting better sort of at the creativity game. Legit, just go out here. Let's do a time saver. Let's kill three birds with two stones. Okay. Kim says, I want to keep my camera on a camera strap or a clip attached to my back. I'm more likely to grab it instead of phoning with zippers on my bag. Hey, funny you should say that. I'm sure Luis has his on his wrist right now because Luis wears his. I can't wear mine. I'm like an eighth of an inch too fat. But this is what this is for. Because you basically rock it like this, right? And you have it like this, and you go like that, right? So it lives on your arm. And then when you're ready, you just go like that. No damage. And when you need to shoot, you just undo that, and then you're good to go. So this is the bomb. It's oh, you know what? What happens when you hide things? Oh, my blackout took out my little camera here. Yeah, so it's just you just have it good to go. Anytime you need it, all you do is just take a camera, clip it, you're good to go. Now you can take and not drop it and whatever. It's just a wee smidge too tight for me. So I don't wear mine like the way Luis wears his, but Luis keeps it on his wrist because then you just grab a camera at any given moment and just go. It's made by Peak Design, costs about $30, and I have Peak Design anchors on all of my cameras. Yeah, they're from your neighborhood, ain't they? I believe they're from your neighborhood. Oh, look at that. Ooh, look, hipster picture. Yay. Yeah, so exactly. Good to go. Good to go. We're going to kill a couple of three birds with two stones. Okay, so here's a challenge for you guys that's just fun and helpful. I know it's a little chilly where some of you guys are, but when you go to do your walkabout, go to walk your dog, go to do whatever, take your phone or your camera out and just go try to find a picture. Shoot things that you're not looking for. You're not looking for the banger. Shoot some abstract. Shoot some shapes. Some person sitting at a cafe, or go out and source just random images. What that will do is get your eyes. It gets your brain in the process of creating when you don't need to create. I think creating when you don't need to create, and I'm curious because Haven's artist, so I'm sure there's a painterly artist type person version of doing the same thing. Create when there's no pressure, and that way you're better able to create when there is pressure. I think most people wait to create when they have to, and then they can't because they get clint, they get what's the word, verklempt. You know what I mean? Like the reason why Jordan and Steph Curry are so good at what they did is they shot 1,000 free throws a day when they didn't need to. So that way, when you need to, they're just natural. Everyone goes, "Oh, Steph Curry is such a natural at the 3-pointer." No, the dude shoots a couple hundred 3-pointers a day. It's not a natural. There's nothing natural about it. That's a lazy person's thought to this shit works. You know, if you ever get a chance to go to the Ramen Museum in Osaka, you will find out that Ando tried 4 or 5 different 100 recipes for making dried noodles in order for us to get the instant ramen that we have today. We take it for granted because you got 87 different flavors. You got everything from hot buck fire death chicken to standard ass cup of noodles to like Michelin star ones in a cup, whatever. But the the guy who invented it was a dude who was just out of a job, and his wife was going to kill him, and he was just trying to come up with a plan, and he literally tried hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things until he got that right formula. But now, because it's what you buy at the store when you broke, people forget how much work went into coming up with that plan. And so, yeah, I think we got to get into the concept of creating for a muscle. Oh, okay. See, I want to hear more about this, Vic. Right? I know that I make up just randomly dumb things. lyrics to songs or whatever. I probably could write a song. I never actually wrote a song. I could freestyle, um, and I would make. When I was a kid, I would just listen to any song and change the lyrics to make up my own lyrics and be funny about it. But I never actually sat down to write a song. But having done it so much, I'm pretty sure that I can. Uh, yes, he did try a bunch, but Colonel Sanders stole the recipe from some women of color, actually. But he did try hundreds of restaurants to get someone to take his idea and run with that. But his idea he stole from some West African women. We won't talk about that. uh, yes, JP is correct. Most people forget about the thousands of days and nights behind what it takes to become an overnight success. Yes, this is true. I never really tried to write a song like that um, because I would just do it off the top of my head. You know what's funny? When my group, we were working on our first album. My buddy CJ and my other partner Ace, who's no longer with us, like they would sit down and write their lyrics. Or my other friend Gerard, when he joined the group, they would sit down and write their lyrics. We'd be in a recording studio. I still would freestyle my verses. I hated writing it down. So that's funny. How you been, Ryan? Good to see you, brother. Oh, I got some stuff to. You need to come visit me. I got some stuff for you to check out. Let's see. Did I keep the picture? Or did I throw it away? I might have thrown it away. I recently came back from Sapporo, Ryan, and not Sapporo, Fukuoka. Sorry, and I bought some new Yamazaks. You got to come and check out. It's good stuff. Oh, if you seen my IG feed, you seen it. Oh, man, Roy, come on. You ready? Check this out. Let me show you, Roy. You guys know this is my favorite thing. I actually have. Oh, I bought a new version too, Ryan. So I went back in September for my birthday. I bought another one, which is a newer version of the one you gave me. So yes, slide through. Just come by anytime. You know what it is. So Roy, check this. You know this is my favorite thing, right? So all you do, come down here, hit the little bubble. All right, today talking about places to find creativity. I think one of the most important things you can do to find creativity is always be creating even when you're not intending to create something. So, how do you do that? You can sit down and just have a conversation with yourself out loud to a recorder. Maybe if you're going to do videos, do it to a video camera. Like put your camera up somewhere and walk around and just talk to yourself. Have those creative conversations in your mind out loud and the recording. Now, you store these recordings in a similar fashion of a journal. Think of it as making a video journal all of the way that you would see on TLC or Trading Spaces or some random reality show. There's often a monologue where the person is talking to themselves, but they're technically talking to the camera. They're breaking the fourth wall and talking to the audience. Well, yeah, do something sort of like that. What this is going to do for you is get you comfortable with extemporaneous speech and just talking off the top of your head. B, it's going to allow you to come up with ideas faster because even to your own self, you don't want to sound like an idiot. So you don't want to pause and freak out and get stuck in any particular place. So what that causes you to do is speak in better patterns and complete sentence. In the beginning, everything you say will probably feel like very uncomfortable and be a little bit trash. But the more and more you do it, you're able to sit down and have a conversation about any topic with yourself, by yourself, for yourself, very smoothly. Now, what that means is the next time you have to do one of these on demand in front of a bunch of people, you'll be able to do it because you have that practice. All forms of speech, all forms of creativity, all forms of catching that right picture is all practice. Any good photographer would tell you you need to look at 5,000 images to get better and take 10,000 images to get better. So Yeah, next time you're out on a walk, you're walking your dog, grab a camera and just go look for some shots. Even though you're not a photographer, you're creating when you don't have to create. Next time you have a moment to sit at the doctor's office, pull a notebook out of your pocket or your bag and just write down a quick paragraph. Or the next time you find yourself by yourself waiting in the car, waiting to pick up a kid or pick up a friend at the airport, record a little 4 to 5 minute dialogue with yourself. Get in the habit of creating when you don't need to create, so that way when you have to create, creation comes a lot simpler. Okay, so I press that, and then I want to do. Um, let's do this as a casual, and then I set the rewrite limit to high, and then now it's transcribing everything that I just said. This is my tool, fam. I like, yo, I cannot tell you how much time this saves me. What I just stated to this thing is what you can do to create your blog posts or your emails or your journals or whatever. And there's so, oh my God, it's rich. Uh, yes, it is so good. Boom, boom. The reason why it does that is because it takes over the audio capture. So yeah, you don't. It needs to be like that. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Give it a second. All right, there we go. So there is the whole rewrite right there. So two Roy's things. And now I'll read it. It says creativity is super important. One way I find it is by always creating when you don't have to. How? Try having a conversation with yourself, record an audio or video. Treat it like a video journal, similar to those monologues you see on reality shows where they talk directly to the camera. This will help you get comfortable and with spontaneous speech and thinking on your feet. At first, it'll seem awkward, but with a little practice, you'll feel you have a smooth conversation about any topic. This skill will come in handy when you need to speak in front of others. Remembering all forms of creativity require practice. Just like a photographer needs to take 1,000 photos to improve, it's actually 10,000. You need to keep creating whenever you can. Whether you're out for a walk or waiting at the doctor's office, use that time to take pictures, write down your thoughts, record yourself talking. Keep practicing and watch your creativity grow. Boom, boom, boom. See, look how easy it is. So, um, my first email for the people that are subscribed to the emails newsletter is done, and I did it live, talking to you guys right there. It's that simple. It's legit that simple. Audio pen is where it's at. If you'd like to check that out, it's docrock.live/pen, PEN. It is the bomb. It is the absolute bomb. But yeah, so we are going to do a little bit more fun stuff like that. And I do find it interesting that when it did that, it the way that it handled that was to drop the audio. That is kind of impressive. I don't know why it would do that, but it must have something to do with stealing the input connection. I don't know. I don't know, but it worked anyway. But yeah, it keeps all of these things too. Now you can go in there and you can edit them, you can rewrite it, you can do all myriad things, but boom. No, I don't want to ban Tech Troublemaker. Does AudioPen have any API integration so you can send the data to other apps? It has webhooks, so yes, you can. Um, Same thing, Vicky. That is another good one. Is take your audio reviews to Amazon, and you can actually even with GPT, you can record it as a voice and just basically transcribe it and then tell it to fix that review. I have definitely started submitting reviews using a little bit more, but I normally run it through a couple different iterations of GPTs so it doesn't feel GPT ish, but it's really helpful. What is up, Rob? How do you do beef stew? Um, yeah, so I was trying to write. in the members only thing, I was trying to write the API to send it to ConvertKit, but I couldn't get it nailed. Luis from Audio Pen said he would help me, but then I went on vacation. So I'll get back to it. But yeah, you don't have to you got webhooks, so you can do it with webhooks. But the copy and paste is just as simple. Like it it was like I really want to spend a lot of time doing that, but yeah, hopefully it'll only get better. But it's a really cool app, and you man the stuff that he added recently. Hold on, let's do this. He added a bunch of stuff recently that is super cool. There you go. Oh man, listen, I'm gonna turn off this noise gate. It's getting on my damn nerves. I can't stand noise gates. Why is it on? There we go. That sounds better. Holy crap. I know it got noisier, but the noise gate was getting on my nerves. Anyways, so he had it like you can set your rewrite level to almost nothing, where it just basically fixes things. You can set it to medium, which you just saw an example of what that looks like. You can set it to high, where it rewrites everything. And then you have styles, right? So you click in here, you got everything from casual, memo, similar, clear, descriptive, legal, list, write like me, which is dope. So if you have a lot of blog posts, articles, whatever, you can submit your articles so it learns how you write, and it will basically write exactly like you. You have casual emails, stream of consciousness you can add on. You can tell it to do LinkedIn posts. You can tell it to text a friend or forward an email or write something in a journalistic nature. And then he has tons of more. Like there's so many styles in here. Formal emails, business memos, um, kid-friendly stuff, academic. So you can set it to basically write whatever you need it to write just by talking to it, and it will reformat all of that information how you best need it. Now, other things you can do is you can come here and select the language selection. So I can select on my favorite languages. So I can put on English, and he has Japanese now. There you go. So I can put English, Japanese, and Korean. Then I'm square. Bam. There is no. Never, I'll tell you in a second, Larry. Hold on one second. Um, I don't use folders. I do have tags, and then here's your integrations, so you can set up Roy Zapier or Zapier or whatever how you pronounce it, Zapier or webhooks. So you can do that, and then beat it. You can adjust your colors if you wish, and I'm in the beta program. So that's Audio Pin in a nutshell. And again, check out duckrock.live/pin if you want to scope it out. Boom. Um, okay, we're gonna soapbox now. Thank you, Larry. Let me breathe it in real quick. Privacy is a fallacy. There you go. There's my soapbox. Privacy is a fallacy. All of the people I know that always ask questions about the privacy, I ask them, do they have Ghostery installed in their computer? And they're like, Ghost of what? And I'm like, then everything you do on the web right now is scraping more information than you can even know. You don't even know because you don't think about it, but uh, websites are already scrubbing everything you do. So let's do, let me think of a common website that someone might go to. They're not Amazon or whatever. We already know what they do. Let's say, I'm having a brain thought. Give me a second. So as you travel through the web, you leave these digital crumbs everywhere. Okay? So here, I know what I'm going to do. Let me think. I'm trying to think of US. Is that still around? USA Today? There will be a good example. Okay. So, no, I don't want to subscribe now. Okay, I have to disable my ad blocker. See what I mean? So this is the first. That's the first. If you go to the place and it says disable the ad blocker, you already know what it is, right? So I'll go ahead and do that for this particular page because I don't really give a hoots. So I'm gonna click that and then hit that, and then I'm gonna go boom. Now I don't have Firefox installed on this machine. I don't think, or maybe I do have it. Hold on, we're gonna switch because it's easier with Firefox, I believe. Google is really bad at this, but let's see if this works. I'm gonna copy this and I'll show you. On average, a site like what we're about to look at, and let me go ahead and remind me later. So we're looking at these bags, right? And then we're looking at fellow ads. Anybody who saw my Instagram feed over the last couple of days has seen me post a coffee post every day for the last 12 days. So I come to a place that has ads and I get advertisements to upgrade my coffee game. Now, I just literally opened this page. But again, those of you follow me on IG, you know I have posted coffee photos. So here I am getting Fellows ads. Here's what's actually funny about this. The Fellow stuff that they're showing me, I actually own all of this already because that's what I use. I use Fellows kit. Anybody see my IG post, you'll know that. I have the Fellows grinder and the Fellows mugs and all of the above, right? But let's go do something real quick. Okay, so I'm going to disappear this for a second. And then I'm going to go. Bam. Let's look at this for a minute. We're going to go here. And like, oh, look, cool. Electric minis. Wow. All right, we'll let it go here. And we click on electric. And we're like, all right, there you go. That's a cool idea. And then now let's do HYUNDAI icon 6. It's iconic, I understand. But I didn't know if it was a C or a Q. So we'll do that real quick. And then, boom, I'll go ahead and accept that, because I need to see scoring things, whatever. And then I'll go back and start looking at some stuff in USA Today. I'm a content creator. It knows I'm a content creator. It shows me Condor Blue ads. Freaking Michigan. Let's come through. It's doing its thinking. It's reading all of the stuff that I do. And then I just looked at a car, right? So what does it do? It shows me a State Farm ad. You don't have no damn privacy. You never have. It's a complete fallacy. Anyway, if you use Firefox, it will show you how many web trackers the average website has. On average, the average website has anywhere from 50 to 150 trackers, and it's collecting everything. So if you want some privacy, you must not own an iPhone, not own an Android phone, not own any kind of smartphone. You must have only used air gap computers, never visit the web, whatever. It doesn't exist. It kind of sort of really doesn't exist. And nowadays, you don't know this, but many stores are getting facial and pattern recognition built into their security systems that direct back to their marketing. So you walk into the Safeway, and every time you walk to the vegetables, and then you walk to the milk, and then you walk to the meat, and then you go to the counter and you pay. When you pay, it says he buys all Safeway brands and pays with a MasterCard. They collect that. So even if you're not connected to the internet, just walking into the store and working in the pattern that you work, everybody has a Costco pattern. Walk in, show your card, go straight down the aisle, straight to the chips and the produce, and then you grab your meat, and then you grab your coffee, toilet paper, whatever, and then you work back out and you get the cabinet where if everyone has a Costco pattern, and Costco already knows that for pretty much each individual person because their security system also feeds back into the marketing system. You will find in the next 3 to 5 years, there will be no longer end caps, there will be video end caps. So there'll be a display where the end cap used to be. And when you walk up to it, it will know from your katachi, your shape, who you are, and it will suggest for you exactly what you needed when you walked in the store. And God forbid you walk into CVS and you stand at the end of the aisle and it's like, Victor, Preparation H is on sale right now because everybody will look at you like your butt itch. But it's coming. Okay, I'm going to run this back again. Um, you're not the head of state, fam. What they could have used your voice against you for? Like the risk versus the reward. I'm a hacker. Of all the voices in this channel I could probably steal, it would be none of y'all. Because ain't none of y'all have enough money to make that worth me going to jail over. It's not going to happen. It's scary, but it's not going to happen. You're not that important. It's like, what value would I get in stealing your voice? So yeah, I don't even think about stuff like that. I think about getting work did. And voice print is still not even a good, accurate science for court. You know what I mean? Fingerprints is fingerprints. DNA is DNA. Everything else is not that big a deal. A good lawyer will get you out of it. So I don't even think about stuff like that. That's like all of the people that be like, oh, I don't fly. Why? Because the plane might crash. But you drive every day, you know. And they'll say that while they're sipping the diet soda and eating the Big Mac. So, yeah, whatever. I don't think you have to worry about it. The amount of data. Let me fix this. The amount of processing time and computer stuff. All right. I'm trying to make this sound like English. It's not working. All right. Everybody's worried about, like the Alexa and Siri capturing all your voice. All you guys are content creators. You know your hard drive space is full right now, and all you did was make a bunch of videos in the last 2 months. The amount of processing power and data storage to be listening to everybody is so big and so expensive that even companies with trillions of dollars ain't going to do that because nothing you got to say is that important. Right? Have you had a conversation with your brother-in-law? Y'all ain't, everybody else looking at y'all like, what the hell are they talking about? They have no clue what they're talking about. No one wants to record you. You ain't Albert Einstein. Like, do I want to record the conversations at Tim Cook's house and steal his information? Yes. Do I want to record the conversation at Bicky's house? No. I was like, I just call Bicky and ask him. So he ain't got nothing to say that important, except for we find old gear that we fall in love with, and we're like, oh, I need this piece of thing that I don't need. That's our conversations. So yeah, like it's funny. Like the industry has made it sound way more scary than it really is, but pretty much none of it's important. That would be. Yeah, there you go. Yes, exactly. I don't even know if the audio leaves your computer to do this. But that's a different question. It may or may not, but as a single person startup, I'm telling you right now, Luis don't have no employees. He's by himself. He does not even have a server collecting all of your audio because he would run out of money in 5 minutes. Luis is a one-man banned. The guy who runs Audio Pen, Luis Pereira, not Luis Vega. It's a different person. It's a good question. I get where Larry's coming from. It's a good question, and I love it every time my friends say crazy conspiracy oriented stuff like that. It's kind of funny to me because I get why it's scary because they don't. You're scared of the wrong thing. You tell more information about yourself every day by yourself, just doing what you do every day than anybody ever has to telling you. You do more self snitching than anybody needs to because you don't use a secure browser, because you don't use Safari, because you don't use an app like Ghostery. Uh, some of you guys are worried about your privacy stealing, and you got your passwords written down. You don't even have a password manager or two-factor authentication or switching the passkeys. And we're worried about privacy. I don't need nothing. I don't need to know anything about you. I can steal all your passwords in seconds if I just get into your house because you wrote them down. Like those are the more dangerous things that nobody thinks about. There was a report this week, and I was kind of irritated when they first put it out because I know the reporter, and a girl here at one of the local stations had her phone stolen, and how it was stolen was kind of sort of messed up. Okay, I want you guys to pay good attention to this. She had a house fire caused by an electrical fire, not her fault. And when she got there, the people, the investigators, the fire investigators, the safety team, the police, whatever, they only gave her a couple of minutes to grab a couple of key things. So they could begin their investigation. So she got everything that she needed, but she left her secondary phone. You know, and I'm in this boat. I got one for the plug and one for the load, right? So she left the secondary phone in the crime scene, as you will. It may have been arson, whatever. And then she found out a couple days later that a vagrant went into the burned down apartment because, you know, once they finish their investigation or mid-investigation, they leave it unattended. And homeless people be looking for a place to stay. And sometimes in looking for a place to stay, they use burnt or abandoned places, right? So anyway, some vagrant goes in and gets her phone. That person probably went to go sell it at a phone store. The type of phone stores that buy iPhones, Android phones with cracked screens, any condition or whatever, they're normally a little shady. And so somebody at that store got into the account, changed her Apple ID password, and then changed the Face ID. Yeah, Face ID. Changed the Face ID to Touch ID, whatever. And so they basically drained her accounts and did a bunch of nefarious stuff. And, you know, it's a really deep and, you know, sad story. And everybody immediately complains that Apple should make it harder. No, they shouldn't. It's not Apple's business. Ford doesn't teach you how to drive, as we know. Anybody that has a Buick can drive. You know, like it sounded like a sad story because everybody was stuck on the fact that the house burned down and her phone got stolen. And you say, well, how were they able to get into her phone in the first place? Because she had all the passwords written down. So when they got the phone and the password list, they were gravy. And the person who did this was not like us. This person was young, like mid-20s, maybe 30s. And again, everybody on the news is all caught up in the sadness of this girl losing her phone and getting all of her stuff hacked and whatever. So the story sounds all scary about how if your phone gets stolen and iPhone thieves, people are targeting. And you know they always say iPhone. They never say smartphone. They say iPhone. You know, iPhone thieves are targeting the phones, and well, because iPhones have a higher resale value, they target iPhone people more, and blah 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 blah. But they never mention why you should never. Yes, yes, Rich, the vagrant. Not only did they get the phone, they had a a little notebook or a paper list with all the passwords on it. And when they sold it to the phone store, that person must have bought both and like literally drained thousands of dollars out of her account and like quote unquote ruined her life. But my first thought is number one, anybody sub 30, how do you still have a list of passwords written down? You should know better. Like this is talked about every day by people like me. So I didn't have any sympathy. And of course, I got flamed because I'm supposed to have sympathy for this person. No, I don't. They did something stupid. Like, I'm sorry. You wrote, you're a kid grown up in the tech world. You writing down passwords? Really though, fam? You don't know that you're not supposed to write down passwords? I think every site you go to where they tell you to write passwords, they're like, keep this in a safe and secured place. Writing it down is not safe and secure. Okay? So I'm sorry, like you're warned all the time. You're warned all the time not to write down passwords. People still do it, but you're warned constantly not to write down passwords. You're also warned to change them all the time, and you're also warned to make your passwords hard and secure. But people go, oh no, but I'm going to forget, so I made it easy. You know, you're not supposed to make your passwords and stuff Maestro Cat 24. That's too easy. Everybody check Paul's Wells Fargo account and try Maestro Cat 24. Just go Paul Duncan at paulduncan.com and then password Maestro Cat 24. See if you can get into his bank. Anyway, so the point is the lazy reporting of not showing how to set up, features on your phone to make this not happen, how to use one password, that was a thing. And so going back to Larry's point, the news is easier to scare you about getting your phone stolen. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't even just the local news. In the same last week, freaking Wall Street Journal did a very similar piece. And I'm like, Joanna Stern, I love you as a journalist, and you're being lazy right now. Like, really, see, look, here it is. It was like 13 days ago. And this guy is in jail, and he was a person that was going around stealing phones, and he's explaining how you do it, right? And I'm just like, yo, fam, like that's just that's just dirty, like lazy reporting, like fully lazy reporting. So because it's easy to go out and tell you how scary all of this stuff is and get everybody freaked out instead of telling you how to do something about it, how to use a password manager, how to protect yourself. So you don't have to worry about somebody stealing all of your information. You are giving it up by yourself because generally just using the web and not using things that block these trackers, not using browsers like Firefox or Safari, you're doing it by yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you, please give me my information. So if you're that paranoid about it, then you also should be being paranoid about all the other stuff. You know what I mean? So people tend to focus on the one false sense of security. And then realizing why you're focused on that, the real action is being somewhere else. I found out someone had password a part of their password. See, again, that's just crazy. Like you know better. Like everybody knows better than this stuff. It's absolutely crazy. What's up, Cat? Happy New Year's. No S. Happy New Year. I love Apple stories about security issues. Right. Uh, yeah. It's super funny. I don't know. I just think it's fun to make it sound more scary, like Apple did it. Apple is more secure, and if you are on iOS 13, 17, 17.3, iOS 17.3 beta, they've even gone as far as to add stolen phone protection built in now because people are, going around writing stories like, the thieves are stealing your phone, and somehow it's Apple's fault that they're able to get in. And it's like, well, how'd the phone get stolen? Well, I was at a bar. This is legit the story, right? I was at the bar and like I met this guy, and then we said we are going to exchange phone numbers. So I handed him my phone so that he could put his phone number in, and then he took off. Oh, that's Apple's fault. Apple's fault that you handed the person the phone to type the number in. Or the same story. And again, I don't know how anybody watching this doesn't see this, but again, you're so caught up in the fact that it might happen to you, you're not hearing this shitty reporting. Oh well, I was at this bar and I was a little drunk and I was, getting text message or the guy asked me something and I had to unlock my phone. So as I'm typing in the phone, he looked at my code over my shoulder and memorized my phone. Memorized my code. And then another person snatched it and he acted like he was running to chase that person, but they were in it together. The cops found out later they were in it together. But that's Apple's fault that you was not paying attention or putting in your passcode where somebody could see it or still rocking the 4-digit passcode. You shouldn't use passcode anyway. You should use alphanumeric, harder to memorize. But that's Apple's fault, They've had alphanumeric passwords for like, I don't know, 10 phones now. But everybody still got the, how do you get in the phone? 1234 0000. When Apple forced people to go to 6 digits, I remember fools having a cow. And let's not, you're not off the hook, Android people. Where's my Samsung? You ain't off the hook neither, because there's nothing secure about this right here. I can see that from halfway across the room. Like, oh, here, open your phone. Okay. Here's what's more funny, Android people. If I pick up this phone and it's dirty, a little bit of a grease pattern, I can steal this phone and I got 2 chances that the password is right there. I can see it. All right. So when I unlock this phone, I just follow the grease line. Right? Or I can see that. I can see that in the grease. So I don't know. It's hilarious. It's hilarious to me, but it's super stupid. I have staff saying I have a new laptop, but I know my passwords for block. Hey, then just reset it. Like it's it's super simple, bro. Just reset it. So if you do nothing else, if you're still one of those writer downers, just don't feel judged. Just fix it because you will get jacked, and you're gonna cry, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna laugh at it because I tell everybody, first thing you should install on any Mac when you buy it is 1Password. Right? Oh, it is in the gold release. Okay. I was like, I know I have it on one of my phones, but yeah, super funny. All right, that's it. I have a FedEx package on the way. I appreciate it. I will see you guys on Saturday. Uh, everybody, Happy New Year, and yeah, let's uh, let's do that. I'll see you extremely soon. Oh, we're gonna have a lot to do. Oh, getting ready for Podfest, and strangely enough, getting surgery on Friday. So Saturday will be playing by ear. I'm having a tooth surgery on Friday because I broke a tooth over the damn holidays. Will hopefully, hopefully it won't. I mean, hey everybody, it's dark. Hopefully I won't sound funny. We'll find out. We'll find out after Friday. So find out on Friday. If not, I will see you guys then. Yeah, that's the point, Matt. That was the whole point. Um, it's one thing to document and capture, than to try to be recording for the content creation sake, right? Um, you should capture all of these moments. You can live in the moment and capture the moment at the same time. I think it's a little short winded to believe you can do both. We've done both for years, long before anything like this existed. Hold on. I'll be right back. Choo. When this came out, we did the same thing. We captured the hell out of life. We was like, and nobody complained about it because there was no internet. You just took this out, and then you was like, and you just kept doing what you was doing, and it was ready. You passed it around, and everybody enjoyed it, and then you captured the moment. So you have to capture the moment. That's what news gathering is, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I think people are looking for excuses to have excuse as to why their life isn't the way it should be. There is no should be. You just got to live the one you got. There is no should be, right? But they're looking at everybody else and making comparisons and feeling a type of way. So I honestly believe you can live in the moment and capture the moment at the same time. I also think there is a difference between capturing because you want to share, because you want to get the accolades and the attaboys from everybody when you share it on social media, versus capturing it for your memory's sake, capturing it for enjoyment's sake or documentation's sake. Or that's a different conversation, right? If you're capturing for vanity, yeah, that's fucked up. All right. But if you're capturing because you're building legacy, you're building memory, whatever, that's a different conversation. So one of the reasons why I went to this is that in my travels, when I take my Sony cameras and my tripods and all the other accoutrement with me, I feel like I have to capture work content. But with something like this, um, you just get in and you're just taking pictures for taking pictures' sake. Like, it's not even about sharing it or going on social media or building a whole new thing or whatever. It's really about just having fun and learning how to re-see creative spaces when I see them, or re-see creative um, sparks or imagination. So yeah, I really good question, because I do think there's a lot of hand wringing. Millennials are good at hand wringing, and so are the kids under them, the Z's. They're really good at hand wringing over, like, you can't do this because it's the opposite of X. And a famous scholar by the name of Cat Williams said, "Real pimps choose both." How about that? How about that? Real pimps choose both. That's what I think is the answer. You can absolutely do both. You just have to make an executive decision to do both. So there's that. Caveman was capturing those moments that they were living in. That's why we have paintings on the wall. There we go. All right, gang. That was a good one, Matt. Way to come in and swing it on the way out and reconnect it back to the top of the hour. I like that. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget, if you haven't done so already, please go to your newsletter situation and sign up there. As you can see, I just made one, so I'm going to send it out today. And then hopefully I'll see you guys on Saturday. If not, I'll see you at the eCam demo on Friday. Appreciate you. Aloha. Sofua. Now, how do you end this thing?